let's go. Everyone, welcome for this new episode of the ESO News. Today we are the 28th March 2018 and we have plenty of good things to discuss with you. Summerset has been announced officially. We have been talking a lot about it because it has been determined by the past, but now it's serious. We know everything about it. And it's a fact that I've been in London for a special event, so we will really be careful during this episode to only speak about the official news that has been revealed and allowed to be shared with everyone. But in the end of this episode, I will share a little bit about my experience during the event itself, but you know, the gossip part of it, the adventure part, it's not the content itself. No. So it's all safe. I'm not breaking the NDA here.
Yes, no inner club secrets, not allowed. Okay, guys, well, let's get started. First things first, the Jesper Festival. It's back, and it's starting tomorrow, guys, on the 29th of March. It only lasts until the 2nd, so if you want to take part, you have about, what is that, like 5 days to take part. You can start the Jesper Festival quest at any of the pavilions, which are situated in Ebonheart, Valkelgard, and Daggerfall. There's lots of rewards up for grabs as well. You've got a Pie of Misrule, which is a 100 XP buff. After the event is finished, it's just you still have it, but it's just a memento. You don't get the XP buff, of course. There's 3 daily quests that you can do. They're different every day, and there's lots of rewards, including the Jester's Festival boxes, which can include consumables, Jester mementos, housing items. There's some new items this year as well. You've got the Scintillator memento, Jester coffee, which is like a confetti, and also a new recipe for the Jester Pavilion furnishing.
So, if you're doing all the achievements, you will be able to unlock some furnishing that are sold only during this period, which are the beautiful Jester trees, which are like sakura tree, but they have petals falling off, so they are better than the original cherry tree. So the big one is costing 15,000 gold, quite expensive, and the small one costs 5,000 gold. So personally, last year we have stocked up those cherry tree because I really love cherry tree and I knew I will want to use them for my housing. So maybe you will want to do the same thing. Just a little precision regarding the Pie of Misrule. If you have done the quest last year, you will still have this memento. You can just use it. You do not need to redo the world entry quest. But if you want to do the entry quest, I guess you can take an alt and do it again just for fun. But you will not receive a second memento, obviously. So there's also limited time merchandise in the Crown store. You have the very beautiful and gorgeous Jester personality that has been very successful last year. You have also new ones like the Madcap Jester Monkey, which is a little pet with a funny hat. The Jesper Festival hat pack, the Royal Court Jester costume, 50% off, and the mascot unicorn. So it's a horse disguised in unicorn. A lot of people will love it. If you want to know more about the Jesper Festival, I recommend you 2 different videos. The one that has been created by Tianlin last year, and a very short and very concise guide made by White Fox. Nicky will put the links in the channel. You need to know that it's regarding the event of last year, so some information will not be accurate for this year, obviously.
So, on to ESO's anniversary, guys. So, there's nothing been announced yet, but the ESO's 4-year anniversary is almost upon us. ESO was released on the 4th of April 2014. And it's obviously evolved a lot in that time. But you can probably expect some quests. Probably a small quest, I'd imagine, where you can get a cake. Usually, there's been Chef Donnellan normally has a small little crafting quest where you get a very special cake that other players in your party can actually eat as well. There's been 2 prior ones released, and hopefully we'll get a 3rd one this year. But in addition to that, to celebrate, and this is big, guys, to celebrate the 4th anniversary of ESO, we are organizing a big 24-hour stream. It's going to be, unfortunately, due to timing conflicts, it's going to be on the 14th of April, but that's okay. And we're also going to be co-streaming with Ninja614. Now, if you know Ninja, he's a very good, very nice, very active North American streamer. Now, the cool thing about this event is what we're actually going to be doing. We are going to be leveling 2 brand new power leveling, I should say, 2 brand new NA characters, because we don't have any at the moment. And as soon as those are leveled, which will probably take hopefully about 3 to 4 hours, we will be running every single veteran dungeon in ESO. That's cool enough, but what's even cooler is who's probably going to be with us. We're going to have other streamers joining us for these dungeon runs. We should have Rich Lambert joining us, who's obviously the creative director of ZeniMax. Even Gina Bruno is going to come and do some dungeon runs with us, guys. It's going to be super fun. We're hopefully going to have loads of giveaways as well. So put it in your calendars.
It's going to be exciting. And we need to say also that Inkling is helping us a lot to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So it's important to note. But now let's speak about the big thing, Summerset, the new chapter. It has been announced and it will be released the 21st of May, when Nicky and I are in holiday in Greece, for PC and Mac, and the 5th of June for console. So, what can you expect in this new chapter? First of all, you have a brand new zone. Actually, you have 2 zones. You have the island of Summerset with different cities and a lot of landscape to explore, and also the island of the Psychic Order that is coming back after 350 years of disappearance somewhere in the underworld, or whatever you can call it. It's the island of Artaneum. So you have a new storyline, the storyline that has started in the base game and that you have seen going through in Morrowind and Clockwork City. This plot will continue in Summerset. So you have different evil to fight and discover for the very first time the culture of the High Elf. So the story is that Queen Arryn has opened the doors of Summerset for the first time to stranger, merchant and adventurer. And so a foreigner can enter in it and will have to help what's going on over there. As you can expect in any chapter, you will have 6 delve, 6 world bosses, 2 public dungeons, and also a new trial, the Cloudrest the Cloudrest. So this new trial, we have just an article that has been released that give a little bit more of detail, and it will work exactly like Asylum Sanctorium in Clockwork City, meaning that you have a boss and you have 4 mini boss, and depending of how much difficult you want the encounter to be, you kill the ads in a different order, or you leave the boss with different ads. So you will have a lot more flexibility in this encounter because you have 3 mini boss instead of just 2. So it will be very exciting and interesting. Also, apparently there's very different mechanics, and the decorum is the Cloudrest, which is a city of Summerset that has been closed to stranger and evacuated because Griffin happened. So you just saw it, like the image. So there's also a new world event to take in group, which is a little bit like the Dark Encore. It's the Abyssal Geyser, or it's similar to the Dark Encore. It functions the same way, but it's of course different.
Very cool. In addition to all those things, guys, there's a lot more. So with Morrowind came a new class, the Warden, as we're all very familiar with. Summerset is not going to come with a new class, but it is going to come with a very interesting skill line. So in Summerset Isles, you are able to join the Sigic Order for the first time ever in any Elder Scrolls game. And from what I understand, I'm no lore expert, but from what I understand, we don't really, a very shadowy kind of organization. You don't really know that much about them. But in this game, you can join the Order, you can explore their home island, Artaeum, and you also unlock a new skill line with some really cool sounding abilities. The abilities are kind of not confirmed at this point, but the ones that we've had described to us sound very, very interesting. Onto the next big thing, jewelry crafting. So this is something that people have been asking for since day one of ESO, and I'm probably one of them. And it's coming with Summerset Isles. Now, it's worth mentioning you do require this chapter to be able to craft jewelry or upgrade jewelry. If you don't do this chapter, you can still wear it, of course, but it will mean that you'll have to get a friend to make it who has Summerset Isles, or buy it from a crafter or something like that. With the jewelry crafting, you know, it hasn't been exactly explained, but we expect that you'll be able to make jewelry for all existing sets. Possibly some new ones too. We'll have to wait and see. The jewelry materials will be farmable in brand new nodes, which we haven't seen yet. So you'll have to start farming those materials up, and they're also going to come with new traits different to the armor. And we haven't had all the details on those, but they sound very, very interesting. As well as that, of course, you can expect all kinds of new loot and sets, again, which we don't have the details on at this point, but I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of loot for you guys.
Yeah, and a lot of articles are coming on the website. Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, over the next couple of weeks, you'll probably hear a lot more on that. So all of these chapters come with a prologue quest. And the quest for Summerset Isles is already in game, guys. You can get it from the Crown Store. It doesn't cost anything. It's 0 crowns, but you can get it in the Crown Store. It's called Mage Message Stone. And if you complete it, it gives you like a prologue or a prequel quest to the new chapter. And you get a reward, which is a weird, I never know how to pronounce that, weird elemental plume memento.
And together with Summerset, there is Update 18, which is free and accessible to every player, regardless or not if you have purchased the chapter. And there's really, really cool new features that's coming up. First of all, the daily reward. So every time you log in the game, every day you log in the game, you will receive a reward that can contain different consumable, different cosmetic items, even a crown crate. So I do not know if they will do a random reward or if it's after 10 days you receive the cool stuff, but it's worked a little bit like Guild Wars 2 is doing at the moment, and you have other games that does that. It's really to encourage players to come in game every day. Another one, and which is my favorite one, and you will probably agree with me, it's a gifting. That means that now we will be able to offer you giveaway from the Crown Store that we like we do for Final Fantasy, and this is really cool. So that means that you can purchase an item and offer to a friend, or if you're a streamer, you can purchase some item in the Crown Store, I don't know, some experience scrolls or some mounts, and offer it to your viewers. It's offer a lot of possibilities, and I'm so glad they are doing that. So it's really, really nice. And the way it seems to work, they have not done much detail about it, but it seems to work very similarly to Final Fantasy Mock Station. And lastly, PvPers will be happy. There is a new Battleground daily reward. It will be similar to how works the daily reward for dungeon. So you will have a reward to do dungeon every day. Battleground every day.
Nice. So with that, guys, there's several different versions of Summerset Isles going to be available. So I just want to run over some of those and what you get with them, just so you're not confused. So first of all, there's a pre-order bonus. Now, anybody who pre-orders, it doesn't matter what edition you pre-order, if you pre-order it, you get the Queen's Bounty Pack. This includes a Nightmare Cinch, which is a mount, of course, a Court of Bedlam costume, which is kind of a little bit like a jester costume in a small way. You get treasure maps, experience scrolls. You get a Sigic Vault Crown Crate, which will be the next season of Crown Crates. And you also get a Salamander Pet. Anybody who pre-orders gets those things. Now, moving on to the digital standard versions. If you buy the digital standard version, you also get instant access to the ESO base game, if you haven't got it already, that is, of course, as well as the pre-order bonuses when the Summerset goes live. And you also get the Morrowind chapter free of charge, providing you pre-order. So that's really cool. On to the collector's editions. The digital collector's edition comes with everything I've mentioned already. Plus, it also comes with a Blood Shadow Wraith Steed, which is a horse mount, a Griffin Pet, House of Reverie's emotes. We don't know what those look like yet.
They're going to be cool.
Yeah, probably. A Divine Prosecution Style and a Sigic Talisman. Again, we're not sure what all these items are, but they sound cool. And lastly, then, of course, you've got the physical collector's edition. It doesn't come with the Morrowind chapter, because that is only for the digital editions of the game, not physical editions. But however, it does come with a steelbook, if that's your thing. It also includes a physical map of Summerset, Razumdum, as I call him, Razumdar's journal, which is a really cool looking book, if I'm honest. It's a book kind of crafted by the guys at ZeniMax based on a report that Razumdar has for Queen Irene. And of course, the big part of it is the 12-inch or 30-centimeter statue of Mephala.
Now let's speak about all the press events that ZeniMax have been organizing, and I let you do that, Nicky.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So, yeah, ZeniMax has recently organized several press events, and they were inviting journalists and influencers, to see the presentation of the game, to get a chance to speak to the developers one-on-one. One of these took place in San Francisco and another one in London. ZeniMax is also inviting to the studio several respected and influential members of the community for 4 days of testing. And discussions, of course, like they did with Morrowind. I don't know if you guys remember when Deltia and a few others went last year for Morrowind. We already know 2 people that are going. Inklings is going, and Ninja. They've both been invited. And it'll be interesting to see what feedback they have when they come back from that.
Yeah, and if you want to see a funny video, you can see the video of Kev do it and his travel to San Francisco. You do not see much about the conference itself, but more about, his travel and his experience. It's kind of fun. Kev do is always pleasant to watch. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, now time to speak about my travel in London. And I cannot believe it was just yesterday. So it's crazy. So I have been invited to the press conference in London through a French magazine, which is called Jeux Online. So I've been in touch with the French community, with the French community manager and all that part. And it's a community I know a little bit, but I'm not really familiar with all of them because I'm playing in English with the international community. And so it was very nice for me to see directly the community manager and the people, other YouTuber and streamer. So of course I knew Desastre, which is the big French ESO YouTuber. Is really growing, is streaming now. It's a very, very nice guy. So if you're French speaking, it's absolutely the person I recommend to follow because he's the specialist of ESO in the French community. In the French community, I will not say the players are smaller, but the person that cover the games are really little. There's very, very few of them, and Disaster is the main person that does that. But there was also two famous French YouTubers that my children are completely fan of, and they were present, and I had the chance to meet them and to get a signature for my children and to take pictures, and so they were so jealous. It was very fun to be able to brag to my children about their favorite YouTubers. That was pretty cool. All the people were really, really nice. And so the event were happening in a little house in London. There were several stairs. It was very well decorated with a lot of cherry tree and Origin themed kind of decoration, with a very nice dark atmosphere, and there was a lot of computer. You could sit and try the game. You were really well received by the staff of Bethesda UK with nice things to eat and drink, and they were really gentle and careful. So I was really, really impressed. And so we had the occasion to talk with the developers, to have a little round table. It was really nice to see Matt Führer and Kay Schrober, the German community manager, and the other developers, and cross some other streamer and YouTuber. Unfortunately, they didn't poke me, but they saw me.
That's because you're scary.
Yes, I meet a very, very sweet streamer too that come to me, but I'm not sure of the pronunciation of her name, so I will not dare to do it. But if she is in the chat by any chance, please make yourself known, because I would like people to be able to jump in your stream and do a shout out for you, a proper shout out for you if you're watching this, because it was nice and surprising. So yes, it was a really, really, really cool event. Really glad to have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm saying yes. I didn't go, of course.
Yeah. Well, that's all for that's all for the news. So guys, if you have some question, feel free to ask them. That's about it.
Yeah, and in the background here, I am getting our group ready for whatever we decide to do. So normally Wednesdays we organize a trial event, but people had a lot of stuff on tonight, so we're probably not going to have enough people for a trial. So I'm going to see how many people we do have, and we'll figure out something fun to do from that.
Yep. And so I think we will finish this episode for today. So thank you so much to have watched this. If you're on YouTube, thank you for watching, and do not forget to follow us live on Twitch TV, as we are doing a lot of show for the Elloa School Online. There will be more to come, of course, to speak about Summerset and all the good stuff. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Yep. Oh no, that's not the one. Yay! This is the one. So thank you very much for all the new followers.